Welcome to Do I Need This? We're two millennial moms figuring it out in real time.
This is a mix of shopping, life, and chaos. From impulsive buys to real conversations we usually keep to ourselves.
So the question is, do you need this or something more? Hi everyone, welcome back to Do I Need This? I am Jen.
And I'm Alexa.
And we're so happy to have you guys back. We are midweek here in the thick of it. And, it's been like a minute since we complained about not work, but just like the bullshit of what's happened on the day-to-day. And we are in the thick of it in many ways in our regular day-to-day job, which we will not bore you guys with, but just know if you're if you're in the thick of it at work, we're alongside you and we are driving the bus. I'm actually, you might be driving the bus and I may be being dragged behind the bus, but we're there.
I don't know. We're trying to make it through the week, honestly.
Yeah. So we hope you guys are having a great week. I saw The Odyssey last night. Have you
tell me?
Seen the previews or anything? Do you know anything about this movie?
I don't, but my daughter was talking to me about it and she's like, we've got to go see it. So I need you to tell me, what is the hype all about?
So, I'll start with this is Christopher Nolan movies are my favorite movies. So he's done like Interstellar, which is my favorite movie of all time. He's done the Leonardo DiCaprio movies, the Dream one, Inception. Have you seen that? Have you seen Shutter Island?
Probably not. No. I don't really watch movies.
Okay. But me either. I don't like movies either. You need to watch Shutter Island because it's like a mental health movie where it's like he's like gone crazy, but is he crazy? Is he not? Who's the doc? It's just like anyway,
I might like that. Okay.
You will love this. And Interstellar literally is and I love space shit. So like Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. But Christopher Nolan is just known for like going above and beyond and directing, and I don't know. And I'm not even like a film geek. Like I have not even seen like the basic movies that people are like,
same.
Have you seen Silence of the Lambs? Like, no, I've not seen any of that stuff. So anyway, I went to see it last night. It is a 3-hour movie. So
wow. Okay.
Be very prepared for that.
Buckle in. Yeah.
But it's the whole premise is the story of like Iliad and the Odyssey. Well, this is the Odyssey of the Greek gods and like Zeus and like all of that. And Matt Damon plays Odysseus, who it's like his story. And it is so well done. I have now been in a dark rabbit hole on like Greek mythology, and actually I'll have to send you this video that was like, you should watch this before you see it. And it doesn't give away anything, but it gives you an idea of like what you should know about Greek mythology before you go into it. Basically saying, they talk about Zeus's law a lot, basically saying that you should always be kind to people that are visiting or beggars. It's like the law of hospitality because you never know if someone is disguised as a god. And it's just, it has like a lot of really cool takeaways. But what's cool about this movie is that it was filmed in IMAX, which means the film can only film 3 minutes at a time. And it was like a $250 million budget. The scenes, they're barely use any CGI. I mean, obviously, there's like mythical shit in it too, but it's incredible. It's incredible. So see it, especially if you're into like, the god of Athena and Hathaway's in it. Yeah, the acting is incredible, but it's intense. It's a great movie. So that has like been on the forefront of my mind that I'm like, do I need to like read Greek mythology or, stuff like that? I mean, probably not. I just need to like probably consume a little less TikTok, but overall,
listen,
that's been on my mind.
On the way to work, when you left me the voice note and you were telling me about the movie, Mila was, she's like, I read the Odyssey, and she started going, yes, in school.
Oh my God.
So she's going like step by step and she's talking to me about the different gods and then the Trojan War and I don't know this and
Yes.
that. And
The Fall of
she
Troy and
she kept me informed this morning and she's like, I think we should go watch it. And I'm like, no,
I
obviously,
I
because
mean, I think that like it's violent. I will say like there's violence in it, but it's war.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But
Right.
she could see it. I wouldn't take Caleb to see it, but she could see it and be just fine seeing it. It's an incredibly done movie. Like
I'm excited. Okay.
so go see it. And
I
actually,
will.
I would recommend seeing it in theaters because it's just the power of the sound and the everything was really really incredible. So if anyone's looking for a good movie and especially if you're into Christopher Nolan movies and you need to watch Shutter Island, like
Okay, you need
that's
to remind me.
your homework for the weekend
That's
is
my
watch
homework.
Shutter
Okay.
Island because it's a great movie. You'll love it. You'll love like the like psychiatry piece of it and mental health part of it. It's
Okay.
really good.
I'm in.
And Leonardo DiCaprio is obviously an incredible actor as
Right.
well. I don't know how he's as a person, given his,
We're not we're not
sexcapades,
talking
but
about that. Yeah. Yeah,
but
yeah.
as an
That's
actor,
separate.
exactly. So,
Okay.
that's what I did last night, but have you done anything fun? Any news on the Baptist Kendall runner man? I
Oh my gosh, I saw him today. I saw him today at the park
hope you tripped him.
and I wanted to, but I didn't. But I'm like, on your left. And I said it really
Good.
loud. And he moved the fuck out of my way. And I went
As he
around him
should.
and I didn't say sorry. I was so proud of
Yeah.
myself.
Literally fuck
But
that guy.
you know what? Listen, maybe he's a really nice guy, but now I have this thing that I'm like, I don't want to be around him. So I like I went the other way and I took another route. I was like, I don't know why. You know when you just got a feeling and maybe I'm so wrong and this is a wonderful human being, but I don't know. There's just something about it. I'm like, trust your intuition. Like we're gonna get away from this guy. But no, I had a great jog today. I increased my time because I'm doing the interval running that I told you about.
I love
Um,
that.
and your girl is running for a minute and 30 seconds,
You're a
which,
runner.
but I know a minute 30 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're not a runner and you're not used to running, by the time that okay, so I run a minute 30 and then I walk for two and then I go back. By the time the 2 minutes are over, I'm like, fuck, again? I have to do this shit again? But it's
It's
getting
the worst.
easier. It is. I don't know why we do this to ourselves, but I feel so good after. I really, really do
No.
feel so
And that's
good.
the problem is it really it's true.
Mhm.
That is the kicker. It's like the whole workout thing is it
Yeah.
feels good at the end.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going through hell while you're doing it, but in the end you're like, "Okay, was it that bad?"
You
It's like
forget.
your brain forgets, you know? It's
Yeah.
like having a
Yeah, yeah, like
baby, although
I was
I
gonna
never
say,
forgot.
like, no, never, you never let us forget, and I
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
let you
No, no,
forget that
no.
either.
No.
But I do need new shoes, so I'm gonna go to the running store this weekend because I don't know how, but my toe is poking out of my sneakers. Like, what is going
Ooh.
on? Because I guess I've only ever walked, and now that I've started running, they probably are not the right shoe or whatnot. So I'm gonna go get fitted. So I'm excited for that
You're
because
gonna
that will
have
keep
such a
me.
different experience in running once they, like, fit you for, like, the way that your, heel touches the ground to your toe, and they'll tell you, like, "You put more weight this way or whatever, this is the better shoe for you," and I know Megan did that, and I know a lot of people that have done that and have seen a crazy difference in running since doing that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because I think I could probably run a little bit longer if it wasn't that I'm uncomfortable in my shoes. So hopefully that
Yeah.
will get me to the next step. But I've been out there. Your girl's been running.
I love it. I love that.
I
I
know.
went to Pilates today. This was my last Pilates class here in New Jersey, and I'm happy to say that I will soon be transitioning back to my normal routine. I leave here in a couple days, and I cannot wait to get to my bed. Like, I just feel like my sheets, my bed,
Yeah,
everything, I'm so excited. So I am
it's
getting on the
almost time.
road. Yeah, it's gonna be a long journey home, but once I'm there, I'm happy and I'm ready to be there. So that is, and I'll be back on my workout game. So
Yeah,
I'm
back to your
put
classes.
I've put on a couple lbs since I've been here. So we may have
It's
to,
vacation.
yeah. I mean, but vacation is a month long, so I can't. I may need to be like ingesting some Taylor Farms lettuce when I get home just to
Oh my God. No, please don't. Don't.
canceled.
I'm kind of convinced that I went through something. I mean, we don't have to talk about it because we don't
Yeah,
need to do that here, but I only eat like I eat a salad every day. So you
I
know how they
know.
said there was like a 7-day incubation period. So by the time that I caught on to like, hey, we shouldn't be eating salads, I had had a bunch of salads. So
I
that's
know.
all I'm gonna say about that. But we're okay now.
I talked to my mom and I said, "Oh, like you've heard of this thing going around." She's like, "Yeah, I kind of have heard of it." I said, "They're saying it's linked to Taylor Farm." She goes, "I just had one of their salad bags last night for dinner." And I was like,
No,
she's like, "I was going to have it for lunch today." I'm like, "You should throw that in the trash."
throw that out right now.
So, we'll see how she feels in a couple
Oh
days
my gosh.
cuz
Your poor mom. Well, I even was eating, I was on this like iceberg lettuce kick because I normally eat romaine and kale and all that stuff. And about a month ago, I was like, I just want iceberg, which I know has no nutritional value. I know it's just water, but I was craving that with tomatoes and pepper and salt
oh,
and
that's
olive oil. That's
actually
all
sounds
I
so
wanted
good.
with croutons. That's like all I've been wanting. So I bought for like 3 weekends straight, like 3 bags, and I would take that to work and just literally like eat out of the bag. I would like chop the tomato,
Was it
put it in
Taylor
there.
Farms?
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
listen,
you know,
nature's Ozempic.
listen, I'm not super upset. I'm not trying to say anything,
Yeah,
but we're okay
it's
now. But
fine.
we weren't. We weren't. But
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, it happens to all of us and we've all been there. So, I get it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're coming out on the other end now.
Yeah, but
We're doing better
I'll be happy to get back in a good workout routine, eating
for sure.
healthy, drinking my protein. I've been off the protein game. Also, I've heard that we should be taking supplements. Do you take supplements now? Like
No.
creatine?
No, but I've been reading about that, and I think we have to. There's a specific creatine supposedly that we need to take.
And I have read that too, that especially
Yeah.
if you're working out and your muscles are there's just like a certain creatine something we
Yes.
need to that's
We
going to
need
be
to
my
deep
next
dive
yeah, like rabbit hole. I need to go in a TikTok deep dive on that, like what I should be I don't know, like with your bone health and muscle health and all of that. And I was noticing that I was like looking actually pretty skinny in a couple
hmm
pictures. And I was like, you want to know why? Because I haven't been working out and I've been losing my muscle. And what like a weird mind fuck that is to
Yeah.
be I and I was talking to Megan about this and I'm like, I don't know what I like better, right? Like,
Yeah.
do I want to look like really skinny or do I want to be looking
Strong.
strong and healthy?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I know mentally I should be wanting to look strong and healthy, but then
Right.
there's that like
A little
part of
voice
you
in your head.
that's like, yeah, if I'm looking very thin, like that's fine too. But I
It's so
know
fucked.
in the long run, that's not really what I so I'm going through this like really big mental battle of trying to embrace because I like I've said before, I bulk up like
Yeah.
a
Easily.
women's rugby player. Like, I am taking the gold medal, and it's and a couple days of not working out, or I mean, a couple weeks realistically,
hmm
I lose that muscle, but as soon as I
It's
start working
crazy.
out, it's like my
It comes
legs,
back.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know what part of Czechoslovakia that, like, my family is from that we were, like, carrying barrels of butter uphill or something because
Oh my God, Jen. No, but I
these
I hear
legs
you.
are made for some
You do
serious
have such
business.
such nice legs, but I get what you're saying because again, I don't wanna go back to the Taylor Farms fiasco, but after the whole situation, I was like, "Wow, okay, we are really, like, flat stomach right now," and I'm like, "This is crazy." Like,
No,
this is I just went through something. Like, I should not be celebrating this, and I
I
got back
know.
on my get your shit together. And I was like, no, 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 this is not okay. But that's what we get fed all the time, right? Like, did we talk about this the other day that somebody showed a picture of Demi Moore and she just looked really, really, really thin, right? Like it almost looked not good. And somebody was like, I think the commentator was saying like, or the reporter was like, oh, look at her really toned arms, and somebody else was like commenting and was like, those are not toned arms, those are very thin, like where you see her muscle and her, and again, I don't want to talk about women's bodies, but like, let's call it for what it is. You can call somebody muscular, and then you can call somebody that's obviously very thin, and but we're fed this so constantly that I just want to do a better job for my daughter. I tell you this all the time. I don't want her to go through the internal like wars that we've been through for the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years. I don't want her to go through
Mhm.
that, but we're fed that shit day in and day out, you know?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's the culture is so crazy in that you see something and what you see it's like we've gone from this place of like um body acceptance and
Mhm.
body like love your body, but no one really talks about like body neutrality, right? Like that's actually okay too. It's okay to feel somewhat neutral about your body and in a way that you're accepting of what it is. You don't have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, "Yes, I love this for how it is." And I think it's okay to you wanna constantly tell yourself things like that, but ultimately, you can have this, like, body neutrality, and that's okay too. You could say, like, "This is my body, and I accept it for what it is and for what I can do or can't do," and I think everyone lies if they say that they look at themselves, they say, like, "Wow, this is a perfect" you know what I mean? Like, no, especially women, like, there's not you're always gonna find something about your body that you don't like or you want to change, and kind of society feeds us that in a way that and especially, like, being thin is the idea of beauty of, like, what people were feeding into it,
Yeah.
so sometimes, especially me, when I like, on a day, I like, a good day, I fluctuate between a medium and a large, like, I have big legs, a very big butt, and at Free People one day, I said it to one of the girls, I was like, I my butt is, like, too big, I'm not gonna, like, fit in those pants."
Mhm.
And one of the girls was like, "Oh, your steak is too juicy," or your like, she was like and I was like, "Interesting that you think that," like,
The other way. Mhm.
I really was phrasing it in a way of like, "Oh my god, those pants are gonna look horrible on me because, like, my butt is too big and it's gonna, like, literally eat that up."
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, like, what I would give for that." And I totally understand that, but it's, like, in the eye of the beholder, you know what I
For
mean?
sure. Yeah, and then you can have really good times or bad times. Like I think I'm way past the point of like hating my body. I'm so grateful for my body now, especially in my mid 40s. But then there's like really good days. And I talk about this with Mel all the time. I'm like, "Hey, I'm having one of those like days." And she's like, "All right, let's talk about it, or let's go look at everything you've done or how strong you are or whatever." And she kind of takes me out of that. But those thoughts are powerful because at the end of the day, we were having this conversation when we were on vacation with my husband and the other couple we were with. Like, I've had 3 babies, I've carried 3 pregnancies. I am 45 years old. Like, listen, we're glad that we can still go for a jog. We're happy that we can still do squats. Like, the expectation is that you should look a certain way. And this is what I look like now. And there's times that I'm so happy with it. And then there's days that I've got to talk myself and be like, "Hey,
Mhm.
relax," but
Yeah.
it's those ebbs and flows, and I think it's okay to talk about that. Like you said, neutrality, positivity, sometimes not feeling great. Like, okay, what do we do? Go for a walk, have movement. Like, it's important to talk about those things, especially because we have other little people that are looking at us and
Mhm.
taking that in.
And actually, it was interesting, a couple weeks ago, when we had gone away to the beach, Caleb, Matt, and I, there was a woman who was at the pool, and she had much larger legs than even I do, and Caleb actually said to me, he said, "Mommy, like, look at her legs." Like, he was and I was like, "Okay, this is an amazing teaching moment for me
Teaching
right here." And
moment.
I said, "Yeah, look, I bet you she has really, really strong legs and every person has a different body and everyone looks different and that's what makes us look cool." And I said, "And what's something really cool about you? And he was like, my
That's
hair. And I
cool.
said, and what's something cool about me? And,
Right.
and I said, that's why. And I think it's moments like that, that in that instant is how you can, especially of a young person, change their frame of mind of like how you're going to shape how they see their bodies. And especially raising a young girl, that's the pressure is obviously so much different. And we know just from growing up. And I am, not that I struggle with this, but over the past 3.5 years, and you and I can go into this into to a deeper talk of
Hmm.
our own weight loss journeys, which that can be an episode for another day, but of losing a bunch of weight. And when I see people who I haven't seen in a long time, they come to me and they're like, "Oh my God, you look amazing," or you whatever. And it just then again reinforces that whole notion of like, was I so bad before? Like, this is still the same person.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I do feel a lot better now. And
For
and
sure.
it's not necessarily because of the way I look. Yes, that is a piece of it, and I'm not gonna lie and say it's not because it absolutely is, but it's little things like being able to run and play on the beach. I went surfing this past weekend. I haven't surfed since I was, like, 14,
That's so
and
cool.
Matt was surfing, and I was like, "Let me get out there," and I went on the board, and I got up one time, and I was like, "I couldn't have done this 3 years ago," and different things like that, that you don't I'm trying to focus on being more grateful for those physical things of,
Hmm.
the physical abilities than necessarily the way I look or the way that people tell me I look or the number it is on the scale or the size clothes that I fit in. And it's hard. You compare yourself to people too all the time, like it's really difficult. Like Megan, my best friend, she's 5 feet tall. She's significantly smaller than me, and she's gonna look different in different things, and we wear different sizes, and once you focus so much on your body, it's really hard to then, like, bring yourself out of that, and
Yeah.
that's something that I feel like I'm consistently working on.
Oh, for sure. All the time. I I say every episode, thank God for Mel, that I can just be like, "Hey, I'm not in a great place today," or "I'm thinking this," or whatever. But yeah, it happens, I think, so often, and people are, I think, are sometimes afraid to talk about it. I don't even know today if like we should put a trigger warning on this, right? Because I know that this is a
Yeah, we
sensitive
can.
topic,
Yeah, it definitely
because
is.
not everybody deals with these types of issues the same, but I also think it's important to have these conversations and to not just not have them because they're hard. Like, let's get in here, let's get uncomfortable, let's talk about, these standards that are out there that so many of us feel like we have to fit into. And in reality, like, says who? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, says
Like,
who? You know what I mean?
I was just as capable of a mom, as a daughter, as a sibling, as a coworker as I was 3 years ago at a different weight than I am today. Like, what's the and and commenting, it's this weird thing. As amazing as it is when people tell you like, "Oh my god, you look great," and yes, I do feel great, and I do feel like I look great too. That is not the right thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
As the situation happens, I'm like, this isn't I don't know. So that's why I try to brush past it. I'm like, "Oh my god, thanks, so do you." Like, I don't know, and I'm uncomfortable in those
Yeah.
situations, but it's still just like a thing of like that shouldn't be what we're like praising people for,
Right. Right.
and it's
It's
hard.
so tricky though, but you know what? I really do think we should do an episode on our weight loss journey because I think two things can exist at the same time. Like, yes, you were just as capable 3 years ago, but there's also the matter of the fact is you feel better now, right? Like
Mhm.
there's also this other part. So to negate that my weight loss journey, I lost 68 pounds that on a 5'1", not even 5 foot frame is a big deal. Like I have never felt better, you know? And yes, people will say the same thing and I know it's coming from a good place, right? Because,
Of course.
50, 60 pounds on me, if you haven't seen me in 5 years, you're like, whoa, okay, wow, great, you look amazing. it's the kind of the first thing that rolls off the tongue. And I know nobody means it in a bad way, but it does make me think like, ew, how gross was I before? Like there's so
Yeah,
many things that come with it. So I think we should do an episode about that and maybe we can get some feedback because I personally am a really big I really am for the GLP-1 when done correctly, when done with a doctor, under medical care and
absolutely.
advice. Like it changed my life and that of
Me
other people
too.
that I really care about, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I say it to every person and even when people ask me, I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I
but
say
yeah,
Ozempic, I'm not on Ozempic, but I'm like, "Yeah, GLP-1s, like, that's the" and I'm, like, willing to answer any questions, like, what people
same.
wanna know. Like, no one looks at me and is like, you know, she d it doesn't first of all, it doesn't matter. If you did it on your own or you didn't do it on
However,
your own or you had
right,
assistance or whatever, like, it literally doesn't matter. If you don't like the way you look and you wanna change it, do it. If you don't
right.
like the if you know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah.
don't like the way you look and there's options for you, find the option that works for you. Whether it's weight loss or you wanna change your hair color or
Yeah.
you wanna get plastic surgery, like, that's
Yeah.
also okay too. You're free to choose the trajectory of your life. You don't need, someone to tell you what you can and can't do. And I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
passionately about that you don't like something about yourself, change it. It's
Yeah.
okay to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll definitely do like a whole episode on that because we can go in kind of into like our journeys on that. But just so our listeners know, we both are currently on GLP-1s in some sort of way and more on maintenance
Maintenance.
and you and I, talk to each other about how we manage that all the time and what
Hmm.
that looks like. And but again, as you guys know, we are constantly trying to find this balance in between eating healthy, working out, being good parents, being good coworkers, doing our jobs, doing
It's
this,
exhausting.
Yeah. So it's not as easy as it, as just taking the shot
Yeah.
and like, crossing your
No.
fingers. But what's amazing now is being able to build those lifestyle changes to get to this point, which I absolutely like I can run a mile and a half now in like, not very fast, but I can without
Yeah.
stopping and I could have never done that before. So little
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about it because I know it's a very polarizing topic, but let's have the hard conversations. Why not, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that I mean, you were one of the first ones to even like you were like I feel like one of the first ones I even had known and then, just like feeling so much better and a lot of people are coming off of like different medications which is
Hmm.
amazing that they've been on their whole lives. So I do love it and please inject me before if I'm in a coma or anything and,
Oh my God, Jen, cancel. Don't even say that. uh,
Um, but yeah, so I didn't
but
I
yeah.
didn't think this was gonna turn into like a body
No.
positivity or neutrality thing, but yeah, I just think that like whole body there's this whole body positive movement and I think sometimes you don't necessarily have to look at it into like this whole woo-hoo, I'm obsessed with how I look, but more of just like I'm okay with how I look. I'm okay to be accepting of that my body has been through 3 pregnancies or 1 pregnancy or you know, different iterations of life, and that's okay
Yeah,
too. It's okay to
for
have
sure.
it that way.
Yeah.
So, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for
Love
us.
that for us. And I didn't think we were going that way. I was going to come on here and bitch about my customer service story. And here we are deep
Well, tell
in,
us. Tell
oh
us
my gosh.
about
Okay.
the current customer service issues
Oh
because
my God. Okay.
there's been a lot.
Well, let me jump. Remember last week was Best Buy and my stolen credit card. And this week, I don't know if you guys remember, but when I was in New York, when I went to go see my girl Mariska, we got
Love her.
stranded in New York. We love her. We adore her. We were stuck in New York for an extra day. So because allegedly the captain had flown into a different airport or whatnot. And then later on, somebody was like, oh, but it could be because there was weather. But we were told that it was that the captain had flown into the wrong airport. We were in
Okay.
LaGuardia or JFK, and he had flown into LaGuardia. That's what the person said on the speaker. We all heard it. We were like, "How do you fly into the wrong airport?" I mean,
Hate when
listen,
that happens.
that's crazy, but like whatever. So I started calling customer service because I was like, "Listen, we had to stay an extra night. We had to pay two different Ubers. Like, I don't know, give me something, make me feel better, right?" So this has been going on since June. So I've had three customer service calls. Every time I speak to someone, it's the same bullshit. No, it was weather related, because if it's weather related, it's kind of like
Mhm.
they wipe their hands, right? So yesterday, a third person calls me, and she's like the manager of whatever. And she's like, "Look, I need to tell you that there's nothing we could do." And I'm like, I don't understand how there's nothing you could do. You mean you can't even give me like a coupon for an extra Biscoff cookie? Like you can't
Quite
even do that?
literally.
I don't know, some extra, you get 2 bags of peanuts on your next flight. You know what I mean? Like, give me something as a consumer. I think a lot of times if you just kind of like pacify the person, they'll feel better. I don't need 30,000 miles. I'd like 30,000 free miles, but I knew I wasn't going to get that. And she just kept reading the script and kept reading it. And then I'm like, there is no such thing as customer service anymore, because at one point we were just like at a standoff, right? I'm like, "Who's above you? Who can I speak to now?" And she's
Mhm.
like, "No one." I'm like, "Okay, so you run the entire
You
customer
are the
service department
CEO of American
of American
Airlines.
Airlines." I'm like, "You're it. This is it." And she's like, "There's no one else, ma'am." And she would just keep repeating it. And I try not to be a gigantic asshole and take it out on the person that I'm talking to, because I know that it's really not their fault. But you get to a point that I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And it was just like a standoff. She wouldn't say anything, and then I wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, I guess we're just going to like sit here. But I ended up just hanging up. Where is customer service? Where is that? I remember that you used to call like maybe 10 years ago if something would happen, and they'd be like, "Let me send you something new," or let's send you this. Or I remember I got once a pair of like worn shoes in the mail from Nordstrom. The lady didn't know what to do with me. She's like, "I'll send you 2 pairs. I'm so sorry. Keep those. Do whatever you want." Like they really
Mhm.
wanted to fix the situation. And it's happened a couple of times already that it doesn't matter. They're not going to help you. They're reading off some script. And I'm like, this cannot be the norm. Like, I think companies need to do better. That just doesn't
And I
make any
feel
sense.
like these bigger companies that like these multi-million billion dollar companies, specifically airlines, it's kind of like they know you're going to fly with
We don't
them,
have a
right? Like
choice, right?
they're just like whatever. And now that they've like basically over time are going to buy out other ones, they're kind of like
Right,
we don't care. And I feel like these big
right.
companies like they'll do that, whereas like we need to praise the small businesses. And why are the small businesses the ones that are like giving people like helping them out if something happens, like when they're the ones that like actually can afford it, which is crazy.
Correct.
Like American Airlines, you can afford an extra 50,000 miles. First of all, it actually costs you nothing, or $100 voucher or whatever it is. It's like but then you see like these little companies. I actually remember the company Cakes.
Mhm.
I had bought uh two different like types of cakes. They're like the sticky boobs. And honestly, they're really not for me because my
Yeah.
situation's just postpartum. It's just not good. It's not good. But anyway, I just really one of the ones that I bought, they wasn't really working for me. I didn't really like it. And I just like put in like I'd like to return these. And they just were like asked my feedback, and I just said, like, listen, you know, I don't like whatever I put, like it just doesn't work for me, or, whatever, like can I exchange, return, whatever? And they just said, listen, like we're gonna refund you your money, like donate those to whatever, throw them out, recycle them. They're made of like recycle. And it's like that's a small business that
Business, yeah.
they don't have to do that. That wasn't part of their. But then again, these like major companies can't do that. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's crazy. And then I have another story, but I'm gonna save it for next week. We're in the process of getting Nick a Tesla. Yeah, I don't even
Mhm.
know how to say it. And we put a down payment, we reserved it, and they sold it. So Carlos was just outside losing his mind with someone from there, because now we have to like get another. It's again, but and Carlos is like, they keep reading me a script. "No, sir, I'm sorry, it's the app. No, sir, it's this." Like, and he's like, "I paid. Like, How? What do you mean you
It's like
sold my car
get Elon himself on the phone
right now?
and like
Yeah.
fix
And then they're
this.
like, well, there's another car and it's in Orlando. And Carlos is like, okay, that's amazing. If you can transport it here, then you
Yeah.
solve the issue. And they're like, yeah, no, we can't do that. It's a week. We just
It's,
can't do that.
oh, so you're gonna have to drive 4 hours to go get
The
it.
guy was like,
It's
the
crazy.
guy's like, it's really off 95. It's right there. No, it's not. That's not right there. We live in Miami. Are you crazy?
First of
But
all, it
again, it's
takes
the lack.
4.5 hours to get out of
Yeah, yeah,
Miami.
yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly. But I'm like, where is the customer service? But you know what? You're right.
no.
Support small business. Obviously, I can't do that with flying, but God, American, like, dude. And then I saw that same day that I was on like this rage. I guess somehow TikTok was like, oh, American Airlines. So it started feeding me American Airlines situations. This guy was talking about how the plane or whatever, they had to land
I
the
saw
plane in
this.
Texas. They
I
ran out
saw
of
this.
fuel. And they were
And
telling him it was like their fault.
and then in the comments, people were like, you didn't know before you left Dallas that you didn't have enough fuel that's going to get you to New York? And then they were like, is this the same guy? He's like, get off the
Yeah.
plane, but then your
Get on the
bags. And they
yes,
were, or they had to land in Philly and they were going to JFK or vice
something,
versa. And he was like,
something
well,
like
I'll
that.
just rent a car and
Take a
drive to Philly.
train
It'll
or
take me
something.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, 2 hours. And then they're like, well, but if you leave your bags here, then they're gonna,
You're not gonna get them.
whatever. And then, so he's like waiting and then this, and then they get timed out. And it's like the whole air travel situation is asinine right now.
Insane. Yeah, it's
Something
insane.
has to change with it,
Yeah.
which I am driving, which makes me not okay and other reasons. But
Mhm.
part of me is like, at least I'm in control of like my own situation,
Yeah.
like I'll stop or
Yeah.
nothing's going to hold me up in that sense. But it's crazy. Air travel has gotten insane and they need to do better. And
They
what
really
happens to
should.
just like being good people and like you inconvenience your customer, try to make it right if you can. Like it's not that deep, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I swear I would have been happy if they would have been like, well, here's a voucher for, I don't know, literally like an extra bag of pretzels. And I would have been like, you tried. I don't know. You
Literally.
tried. You did something for me, but not even that. So that is my story. And I don't want to sound like an old, angry person, but I just can't believe these things keep happening.
I mean, we got to vent it out, you know? Like
We are. We are.
there's
We're sharing. We're sharing with the world.
let it in. I mean, let it out than in, you know? It's better
Yep.
to maybe people have tips like should we not be flying American? What airline should we be flying
What
with, you
should we
know?
do? Are we going with Delta? Or what's going
Yeah.
on? Somebody
Which
tell me
which
what to do.
I hear people love Delta. It's just like where I usually fly is like not Delta hubs, so I feel like it's just not I don't know. So that's like that's another day for another podcast for another day.
For sure.
Um but I wanted to get into some of our recommendations and do I need
Yes.
this items. Um I my do I need this item is because I
Hmm.
am on just like a skincare whole
Yes.
no makeup look, and I was recommended this product, and tell me if you've ever heard of it, the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. Have you
No.
balm, not bomb, balm. You haven't heard of this?
What is this? No.
Not a bomb. It is so it is apparently this balm that
Okay.
can be used as a primer, but can also be used as like a very lightweight foundation.
Okay.
And I want to try it. I think it'll be like a good no makeup look. I don't think it
Yeah.
has SPF in it, but that's my like current item that it's apparently also good for oily skin. So like you can put it just in your T-zone. It'll help
Okay.
cover up your pores. So that's a do I need this item that I will be purchasing in the near future to test it out
Okay.
and see if it's an item I'm wanting.
Okay.
Um but
That sounds
any
exciting.
items that have been on your list that you have been wanting to invest in, think about, try any
Well,
of those.
by the time I get to the episodes or recording, I'm like, well, I bought it already. So,
That's fine.
okay. I need to talk about frownies. We have to talk about frownies. Have you heard of them? Have you
Yes.
used them? Okay. So I'm trying to stretch my time between Botox, right? Because it's expensive.
Of
Whatever. I'm
course.
just trying to make it work. I love these things. They're so amazing. And obviously, if you use them consistently, I do think that you see a difference. But I am like hooked on them. And I was messaging Frownies and their CEO wrote back and was telling us that she
So
was so
exciting.
excited that that I was, talking about it or was going to discuss it on the pod. And she was so nice. Her name is Helen. She seems, then I went on a deep dive about her and she is just like a powerhouse of a woman. She created this company. It's like a fifth generation, like it's her grandmother started it, and I got into like the whole thing. I'm like, okay, Frownies are it. It's the it girl. So we're gonna keep using them. We're gonna see if we can stretch our time between Botox. And it's
I
it's like
love.
these little stickers and then they harden, right? So you could wear them pretty much on your 11s or pretty anywhere. You could do it overnight. You could do it while you're like
So
cleaning the
so
house.
I'm gonna start wearing them because I actually don't get Botox in my crow's feet because
Okay.
I have done that before and I don't like the way it makes me smile because it kind of like
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
paralyzes like a little bit above my cheekbone. So I'm gonna start putting them here because I had originally seen them on a creator that was currently in like a postpartum period and she was
Hmm.
breastfeeding, and what's
Yeah.
really great about them is that you can wear them either while you're pregnant or you're breastfeeding, especially if
That's
you
so cool.
do like Botox and you can't get Botox right now because of either that reason or financially it's outrageously expensive to get Botox. So people use that to either extend the life of Botox or to kind of have that like overall firming skincare. So I only get Botox in my forehead, so I want to start wearing those under like my crow's feet to try to help with that.
Hmm.
That won't also give me that like paralyzed look that Botox sometimes gives you. So
Yeah.
that's also on my list too
Yeah.
of when how I want to use that as well,
Yeah, very exciting. I'm like, wait, why didn't I not know about these before? And then it's obviously like a woman owned company, like
which we
just wonderful
love.
stuff we love. So, Frownies, everyone go out and get them.
Yes, I love that. And then I actually have a recommendation that it was funny because I was talking to my sister about how I was saying the "Do I need this" of the Nod Pod last week, which I've
Yes.
ordered. I haven't gotten it in the mail yet, but, I'm excited to try that. And then I realized this is an item that I use almost every day, almost every other day. This is gonna be specific to the migraine community. So, us migraine sufferers, I
Hmm.
swear by a headache hat, and specifically the brand Headache Hat. It is not just like the frozen caps that you can put on. These ones have like little individual like ice like
Oh,
cubes,
cool.
and they freeze, and I have gotten my sister on them who also gets headaches, and there's always a rotation of a headache hat in the freezer, and even Matt
Hmm.
uses them. Sometimes I'll put them in a lunchbox and use them as an ice pack, but they like are Velcro. You can
That's
wrap
so
it around your
cool.
head. You can wrap it like if you're hurt somewhere on your body, but if you're a migraine sufferer and even if you just want to like depuff, you can put it on your face, your head, any of
Okay.
that. That is like a recommendation of a product that I've been using probably for a decade that I absolutely love. And especially if you suffer from headaches, the headache
Oh, what a
hat.
good one. I know, and I know you've suffered with migraines forever, as long as I've known you. So, what a great tip. Okay, that's amazing. Good to know.
Yes. So yeah,
So,
that's
we'll
that's my recommendation of the week. Anything you want to recommend? I know you kind of talked about some things earlier, but anything on your mind that you want to tell our listeners about?
No, I'm just really into jelly shoes right now, and I found some
Love.
great flat jellies on Amazon, and I'm waiting for them to come. Because I just feel like a
Big.
jelly looks so cute with whether you're wearing capris or you're wearing like a little skirt. So that's what I'm on right now, but I don't want to recommend these until I get them. The reviews were insane. There was like 150,000 reviews that they were just amazing and they're super cute. So once I get them and I try them out, I'll let our the girlies know what's up if they're a good recommendation. But
Yes,
that's
and
my
and
kick
I'm
right
thinking
now.
that the jellies are gonna be, like, a really good summer to fall transition shoe too
Yes.
because it kinda takes that, like, warm weather feeling, but then transitions into a flat. I am thinking the flats, ballet flats, the jellies, the Mary
Yes.
Janes, I feel like that's gonna be the the shoe of the fall, and I cannot wait to get on my fall shoe game because,
Oh, I'm so
I
ready.
love
You know,
to
I love
shop.
fall. I
Yes,
love
I do
fall.
too.
Well, our version of fall, but
Yeah,
nonetheless.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little cooler, and you just turn the AC down a little
A
bit
tiny
lower
bit. I
and
mean, our offices are cold, so we look really cute
yeah,
at work.
exactly. You wear sweaters, fine boots, the whole
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. So thank you so much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe to wherever you find podcasts, and make sure you're following us on Instagram, liking our posts, engaging with us because we love to hear what you're loving and what you're trying from what we have. So enjoy the rest of your night, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.